to my channel. My name is Tega and I'm vlogging from Lagos, Nigeria. I said that a lot.
It's okay, that's how they know where you are.
Okay, today I have my sister here again and we're discussing something juicy and would I say a bit controversial. We're talking about early marriage versus later marriage. I won't say late marriage. So early marriage versus later marriage. That's what we're talking about today. Advantages, disadvantages, pros. Disclaimer before we start this video. Everything we're going to be talking about during this video is as simply our personal opinions. So if you want to argue with us, you are arguing with your keypad. Before we go in, let me introduce my sister again. If you didn't watch our last video where we did our sister tag, it's so funny. It was really so much fun. You should go back and watch it. I'll put the link somewhere for you to watch the tag. This is my sister
Amy Salaka.
Amy Salako. Welcome to our channel.
Thank you.
Thank-
Happy to be here again.
I can feel her feeling the vibe. Like it's like the last time she was here, she was a bit, but now, okay. So anyway, let's just jump right into it. We're talking about getting married early as opposed to getting late. Now, before we go into this, let's talk about what early marriage really is. What is early marriage? What do you consider early marriage? Like
18, 19, 20, 21.
exactly. So I would say between the very late teens, which is 18, 19, to mid 20s.
25, 26.
If you have crossed 25, it's not really early, it's just maybe on time. Now, if you listen carefully, we're not talking about early marriage that in the way it is perceived in our society today. We're not talking about 12-year, 13-year-old, 14-year-olds getting married. I don't consider that early marriage. I consider that just something really sick that needs to be stopped. Like it is just not acceptable, it is not okay. So that's not early marriage. We're talking about 18, 19, 21, 22, 23. So would you say you got married early?
Yes, I would say. And early marriage doesn't mean you're getting married early, but you have to. You actually were ready, you were prepared. So, yeah, I got married at the age of 21.
Really?
Yeah, 21 and 14 years next month.
You got married at 21? I didn't know that.
I was 21.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, 14 years next month, and I'm glad I did.
So 14 years down the road, she's glad she did.
Yes.
That's amazing to be able to say that I've been married for 10, 15, and I'm so happy I did. Because some people are like, that was the worst day of my life. So yeah.
No, but if you're ready, you are ready. I mean, you're with the right person. What are you waiting for? Or you think, okay, you haven't seen life, or you haven't experienced life, or enjoyed life, whatever the case may be. You're not ready to get married. I've heard that quite a few times.
I'm not ready.
I'm not ready yet. There are things I like to do. Focus on my career.
So let's just assume
know.
let's assume you had a checklist.
Yeah.
Would you say you checked all the boxes? Because if oh, I need to check this before I know I'm ready to get married. So what was on your checklist that made you feel like, oh, now I'm ready to get married?
Okay, my checklist was, what was on my checklist? He was God-fearing. He was kind, respectful, caring, loving. I mean, what else am I waiting for? You know, he is a great guy, so we gotta lock him down sharp. And I mean, we were both ready. I couldn't see why we want to wait 2 years, 3 years. We're not pregnant, we're not expecting or anything, so it wasn't like, oh,
Why not?
she was pregnant, that's why she got married early. That wasn't the case. We're both ready, we're both matured, and we just went ahead. And 14 years down the road, it's, you know, it does have its advantages. If I was getting married last year or this year, then oh my, then that means
Which is still normal.
Yeah,
Because if you're getting
Don't
married
get me
now,
wrong.
if you're getting married now,
No.
you get married at maybe 34, 35, which is
35.
still, it's not, I wouldn't say it's late. Do you say it's late? it's late.
When it comes to the sleepless nights with when you're having little kids and all of that, I think I was more patient then. I had all the time in the world
Yeah.
to do that then.
Okay.
That's why I would say that was an advantage for me. You know,
Okay.
I had plenty of
So
time.
personally, I got married early too. I was in very early 20s when I got married too. So in your experience, what would you say has been some of the disadvantages that you'd be like, okay, this is a disadvantage that, you know, if I had not gotten married so early, I wouldn't have had this issue or that issue?
Honestly, none. Cause what did whether I wanted a third degree or a fourth degree or a fifth degree, or I wanted to travel, or I wanted to do whatever the case may be, getting married, having kids never got in the way, never stopped me. So I never felt like, oh my, I did not groove before I got married, or that never stopped me. If I want to groove today, I will groove today. 5 years ago, if I want to groove, Hobby and I will go and groove together.
So marriage doesn't stop the groove.
It never got in the way of anything.
But I think if I was going to think of a disadvantage, I would say, as far as education and career, yes, we both got our degrees while we were married, but maybe I would have done business management. Who knows? Maybe I would have been a doctor or an astronaut. Who so say I cannot go to space? But because I'm married, obviously I'm not going to think in that direction. So I would say I think there are definitely some restrictions. As soon as you're married, have kids, even if you are still going to get your degree, you might be wanting to think in the line of something that is going to work with your presence. Yeah. So I feel like yes, it will definitely be a factor in whatever you're going to study, what your career is going to be, what your job is going to be. So getting married, as opposed to if I was still single,
Right.
like I said, I could have been an astronaut.
Don't believe that. That's what I said. When you're with the right person, it doesn't.
It makes things easier.
Yeah, it doesn't.
But getting married early can be tricky when you are married to somebody who's not supportive,
Right.
who doesn't support your dreams and your aspirations. It can really be a problem. You know, if you get married to somebody who says, no, I don't want you to do this, I don't want to, it makes things complicated. So it all boils down to, let's say, luck or blessing.
Blessing. Yeah.
So it boils down to blessing, because it can be a disadvantage if you end up with somebody who is not, if you end up with the wrong person. So I think, yeah, that can be a problem. What another disadvantage I think, or for me personally, something I feel like I missed out on, you know, I moved from my father's house to my husband's house. And you see that time where you have your apartment, your cute bed and your cute TV, and that's doing your own thing. I didn't have that. So I think that's something like, did you feel like you missed that?
I think that's part of the whole grooving, living that single life and doing what. I don't too.
You don't
I don't miss it. I wasn't really the grooving type, or I did groove.
Did
but
you groove? She did not groove.
A little bit I groove.
Which groove?
I groove.
She did not groove.
I grooved a little bit, you know, and we do have witnesses. Shay, we grooved, yeah, the groove continues when you move.
It continues. So again,
So
it
it doesn't
depends.
stop,
It's the same thing with the
Yeah.
other disadvantage. We talked about career and, you know, your aspirations. Again, even the grooving depends on the person you end up with, because if you now marry somebody who is not into getting those excitement that you feel like you missed out on, then you are really missed out.
Right.
Do you understand?
Yep.
So again, it depends on who you marry. So I think getting married early is not a problem. It just depends on who you marry, and that can still be an issue whether you are 21 or 31 or 41. It all boils down to who you are married to, who your spouse is. So I would say these disadvantages are still relative depending on who your spouse is. So now let's talk about the advantages. What are the advantages of getting married?
Having family, starting up a family early. Oh, that was the best. Having kids early has advantages because I never was pregnant in my 30s, and every time I say pregnancy was sweet and was fun, people look at me like, huh? I've been pregnant. That wasn't the case.
It was not fun.
But I had, 2 pregnancies, and I enjoyed both pregnancies.
The biggest advantage of getting married is all about the children. It's about childbirth and having children at that earlier stage in your life. You didn't have any child in your 30s. I thought, in fact, that was one of my dreams, that by 30 I would have had all my children. I couldn't do that. So I had one at, early mid 30s, and the difference is clear. If you can have your children earlier, it's so much better. It's safer for the woman. It's far better. So one of the advantages of getting married early, you are done with all the baby making part of marriage, and then your children grow with you, basically.
Yeah.
How old were you when you had your first child?
I was 23. I had my daughter at 23 and had my twin boys at 24 and a half.
That was quick.
Yeah. So she was 2 when I had the twin boys. And I felt like I had triplets because she was only 2. Yeah. She was tiny. But then again, I spent all this time at home with them. I had all the time in the world, and now they're all, she's 12 years old. We practically wear the same size clothes, shoes, everything. It's amazing.
So you have kids and they're like your friends at some point. You guys become like pals. So that's an advantage.
Yes, that is.
That's an advantage. And then if you spend your early 20s having children, even if you start your career at 30, that's still a good time to start a new career and start building your life, your career, so you can do the baby thing and still have enough time to start building your career, assuming you can't do it together like simultaneously, which some others can't do that. So it's a lot, but what are the advantages we have for getting married early?
Patience. I think you're younger, you're more patient with the kids and
the spouse too, not even the kids, the spouse.
Your patience is this
when
much.
When you get married in your 20s, I feel like there's more tolerance and understanding. It's easy to put up with stuff. But when you are getting married for the first time at 37, 38, 39, you will not just be ready for rubbish. Like, what is the meaning of this nonsense? What? No. I have a lot of people who didn't get married early, they got married late, and the marriages didn't work. I've seen it so many times, in so many cases. It's difficult. Unless you are willing to make that deliberate. People in their 20s, they can be soaking around and they're just happy together doing it.
Yeah.
There's no happy brokenness in your 40s. You're just angry broke.
You know what? That's true. Yeah.
I mean, it's not nice. It's not nice to say or to hear, but it's just the way it is.
In your 20s, it's like,
in your 20s, you are happy broke. You might be staying in a one room, and you guys don't. Maybe you're soaking gari and coconut, or you just
for lunch, and you are happy.
You're happy.
Yeah.
So that's another thing to consider. So, what advice do you have for the young ladies who are watching? Because I have a lot of you ladies watching.
Find someone that loves you, respectful, caring. Love is just this portion of it. Small part. The rest of it is communication and understanding and respect. Love is just a tiny. If you respect someone, you will not. You would compromise. If you respect someone, you love someone, you will sacrifice. You will do this, you will do that. You're the boss at work, you cannot be the boss in the house. You can't have 2 bosses in the house. So just learn to be a team. 100-100, no 50. There is no 50-50. In marriage,
100-100.
there is no 50. You give your all, 100-100. Yeah.
That's a wonderful advice. In fact, I don't have anything to add. Marriage is 100%, because I hear a lot of people say it's 50-50. It's not 50-50. And the 100-100 is irrespective of what the other person is giving. So I'm putting in 100%, and you are not doing this. You put in your best.
Not just financially. All areas.
So you can't say, oh, he's just giving me 20%, and so I'm going to add my 20%. No, do your best. So that if it works out, it doesn't work out, you can always say to yourself, I gave it 100% of myself.
Yeah.
So no regrets. Okay guys, thanks again for watching. If you've watched this video to this point and you've not subscribed, I'll give you a second to do that. Thank you for subscribing. Don't forget to like, comment, put on the notification bell so you always get a notification when I upload a new video. I love you guys. I'll see you in my next video. Mwah. Bye.